What's going on, everybody? Jeff J back with you again, and I am here to review the Season 1 finale of Black Lightning, Episode 13, Shadow of Death, The Book of War. There were three main plot points that they had to tie up before the end of the season. 1, who resurrected Lala? 2, what is the main goal of the ASA? And 3, is Jefferson Pierce going to survive? And how is he going to be exonerated from all of the alleged crimes placed on his head? So let's start with Lala. It's been heavily intimated throughout the season, especially the last few episodes, that Tobias was the person who resurrected Lala. You see in episode 12 when he says the devil deals the cards, it halts him. He's entranced and he can't move. It's almost an incantation or a spell that places on Lala and makes him compliant. Tobias reveals it was him. He reanimated Lala, and the tattoos are a side effect of the reanimation that causes him to hallucinate the people that he killed haunting him. And he gets the name Tattoo Man, which is funny because the Tattooed Man is actually a Green Lantern villain who can use his tattoos to attack and absorbs the evil of people and creates them into those tattoos. I guess he's going to be the CW version of Tattooed Man. Who knows? But we don't even know if he's alive. That's one cliffhanger because Tobias sent him into the ASA as low-key a dirty bomb. He had a grenade or something in his mouth when he was being questioned, blew up the place. Proctor, of course, was able to get out, but is Lala alive? Is he going to be reanimated for another season? Does Tobias still have the magic bullet or whatever have you to bring him back to life? We don't know. I hope he does come back because he was a dope villain. If he's going to be under Tobias's thumb, that's still cool. They have a little rogue clique going on, so that should be cool. The second plot point was about the ASA. What is the main motivation? What is their end game? And it's all been behind Martin Proctor. Wants to capture Black Lightning, wants to capture Thunder, get a stable sample of their DNA so he could save these kids who he's been storing for 30 years and as recently as this season, capturing people for whatever goal he had. When Jefferson, Black Lightning, and his Lightning fam finally corner him, he reveals what the end game was. It's basically to get himself back in the good graces of the ASA. This is a rogue operation. He went AWOL, off script, and is doing his own thing, resurrecting this program in order to gain favor, gain power that he lost. And it seems like Gambi knew that was going on. Ends up killing him, which was kind of weird. One of the things that I was kind of weirded out about this episode, he kills this man and nobody flinches. Jennifer, who's been a basket case of emotions the whole season, going through the whole gamut of them, she's stone cold. Anissa, nothing. Jefferson and Lynn, not even a flinch. I mean, they went through some real shit this season, but it was a little weird to me that no one said anything. They reacted stronger to Jennifer using her powers to scoop slam Martin Proctor than they did Gambi actually killing this man. It was a little funny, but seemed a tad uneven. Martin Proctor's no longer with us, and Tobias got whatever briefcase he had. There's a lot of corruption in Freeland, by the way. He has people everywhere. Got Martin Proctor's thumbs from the coroner and able to open this briefcase, which is supposed to have whatever he needs to take Freeland over and finally kill Black Lightning. It was a nice homage to Pulp Fiction, the way he opened the briefcase and you see the green shining object, whatever this is, and he's like, yeah, this is what I need. What's in the briefcase? Guess we'll find out next season. And finally, how was Jefferson going to survive and clear his good name? He has a flashback to his dad and his early childhood and some of the lessons that he was taught. And it was almost one of those near-death experiences I got where he, as his grown self, was talking to his dad, apologizing for not being there, not being the man, using violence that he was taught. He was basically taught non-violent means in order to solve his problems. And he was apologizing to his dad. I mean, his dad, in this hallucinogenic on the brink of life or death, one step away from the afterlife scene, told him, I'm proud of you. You're doing your thing. You're doing what you're supposed to. Sometimes when you're backed up against the wall, you got to make it happen. And the classic phrase that he's been saying all season, whose life is it? And what are you going to do it? Live it by any means necessary. That came from his father. You get a sense as to why he's the way he is, why he's always giving these classic sayings from different black leaders and people in the civil rights movement, why he's so hell-bent on nonviolence and using your mind to get out of things as opposed to using your hands. He got it all from his dad, and he cherishes his dad and wants to emulate him. But this conflict he's had the whole season of nonviolent methods versus using his powers, you can see that he overcame that. And when he got out of the coma, you see he's more resolute in his convictions, but he didn't have any powers. And they used Jennifer. Jennifer's been like his charger. She's like the family Mophie at this point. And is always recharging him, and her powers are still unstable, but you can see even towards the end of this season, the end of this episode, she's controlling it. She's starting to use it a little bit more, learning here or there. The ASA storms their house and Lynn becomes freaking John Wick with the shotgun. I thought that was cool, where everybody got into action. The family wasn't going to let anyone else go out there or Jefferson alone to save them. They mobbed together as a family and they were able to do what they had to do. I feel like they tied the loose ends well. They gave us a great ending and enough loopholes, well, not loopholes, enough cliffhangers to start off season 2 right. Is Lala still alive? Proctor was able to escape, but he got killed. So what's going to go on with the ASA? Are Gambian Jefferson's issues completely resolved? Tobias, what does he have in the briefcase? Even with Painkiller, Khalil, and Cyanide, what's going to go on with them? Are they just a crew now? All indebted to Tobias and beholden to whatever he says because he's the one. Gambi breaks it down. Tobias is the one that put the carbon fiber under Cyanide's skin and trained her to be an assassin, got her from nothing. He's the one that was behind putting the implant in Khalil and the side effect being those tranquilizers that he shoots out of his hands. He weaponizes the people around him and puts them under his control because he's super strong and he's a fucking mobster. So what's going to happen with that clique? Jennifer and her powers. Is she going to really be able to control them? Is she going to embrace this life, or does she still want a clean break? There's enough there to start off season 2 proper and to get us more interested. My overall thoughts on the season, I thought this season was very solid. One of the more solid opening seasons of a CW DC TV show. Some of the issues that I had, I feel like the writing at times was inconsistent. And this episode was a perfect example. They're interviewing people because Lynn was able to help out the people in the pods by exposing them and letting the world know these kids were kidnapped and kept, and they were experimented upon. They whistle blew on the whole situation. And I don't know if those kids, how they were able to get help, because she said, I know a way, but that's another cliffhanger. But when they exposed it, they did the news hits that they've been doing throughout the season. You have one black woman on there talking angrily, and at the end she says, bye Felicia, and walks away. Like, what? Why would she say bye Felicia and walk away? First of all, that's dated. That's type dated slang. And she wasn't saying it to somebody in a conversation manner. And I'm not one to put syntax around slang or African American vernacular, Black English, but it just felt random and out of place. Then you get the brother who was speaking, talking about they experimented on us with the Tuskegee experiments. They put crack in our communities. Then they put heroin. Now it's green lighting, kidnapping our kids and experimenting. The government's been doing this all the time, but y'all haven't seen it. We've known this for years. So what's gonna happen now? That was a poignant, intelligent point that this dude made. And it shows that the writers understand and making that connection to what's been happening in the real world and how to convey that. But then on the other end, you get Homegirl saying, "Bye, Felicia," where she could have made her point using different types of slang, something more updated that sounded natural, like when we see people on TV, random people getting interviewed. Martin Proctor sounded like an alt-right supervillain on HGH. If you're familiar with Scandal, that's the actor who plays Hollis Doyle. He seemed like the DC supervillain Hollis Doyle. That's the best way I can explain it. He was like, you know, calling dudes boy, saying, "Oh, y'all are used to being in cuffs," name dropping, "Make America Great Again." Like, it's like, okay, we get it. He's a racist piece of shit. So show him implicitly being a racist piece of shit. It's like they took a sledgehammer and wanted to beat us over the head that he was a racist piece of shit. Even Hollis Doyle in Scandal, you knew he was basically a billionaire, tacit racist. They didn't have to beat it over our heads. They didn't have to reinforce it and be so blatant about it. And his character came off to me like that. But then there's great writing. Some of the secondary characters, 2-Bits, the villains, they all impacted. They all hit. They all were hits on the show. So I think the writing needs to even out a bit, and just the writing from the first few episodes, I would say that's where you want to be and expand on that. I don't know what else has to be done in the process, but that's something that I think majorly with the writing, with some of the acting, it's just there were ebbs and flows like that. Those middle episodes were kind of rough, a little rough, but the quality of the show was able to shine. The whole was greater than the sum of its parts. But I think some of the writing, a little bit of acting needs to tighten up and have a clear-cut direction for where you want to go in season 2. That would be that's my desire. They have great things to build upon. They may need some more foils. It can't be just Tobias and his crew in the 100. You may want to see more of their day-to-day life and what they're struggling with there. I like the portrayals that I saw on the show. They felt, overall, even with my critiques, they felt very modern. They felt real modern, up-to-date, and relatable. Regular situations that felt normal, that you see on a day-to-day basis. And especially as a black man, seeing parts of my community reflected and things that I know growing up, music that I hear that triggers memories that black people can share in that experience, you see that in Black Lightning. And that's something to be commended. And I hope they can go from there and elevate the show even more. That's the end of our reviews. This was a great opening season for CW's Black Lightning. I would recommend it. You guys should go and watch it. It's 13 episodes, very snackable, easy to digest. You could watch a couple of episodes a month and catch up by the time it comes back, probably the September-October time frame. Great stories, great portrayals of family, dope villains. You get a little bit of everything. I'm excited for season 2 and I will be back. And that does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, you know what to do. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us everywhere on social media and share this video so we can keep the party going. I'm Jeff J, and we'll talk to you soon.